Say there is a glass on the table and I tell you the glass is half filled. What will you think now? Simple, that there is water in the glass till half of its capacity. But now, what if I told you that the glass is half empty? What will you think now? You might think that I can fill more water in the glass. Do you understand what's happening here? I have told you two different things about the same glass and you thought completely different things about it. This is what is known as framing bias, and we'll talk about this in this video.
Hello guys, this is Shweta and welcome to the world of WallStreetMojo.
What is framing bias? So framing bias is a cognitive bias in which we get influenced by how a statement is presented to us. It is also known as framing effect bias. Due to this, we may often overlook factual data and decide based on what was put before us. Unfortunately, this may not be the best way to make the decisions. You only tell me, what if I told you some statement but with a negative tone? Won't it make you think about it in a negative way only? The same information can be conveyed to us in so many ways. It can be framed positively and even negatively, in a different tone or even just presented differently. All of this creates framing bias, which is a perspective error. Now, just think about the consequences it could have in finance. What if someone told you about a stock or a product in a way that makes it seems all goody-goody, but in reality it is not good at all? So I can say, if you buy a bond, you can expect 10% returns yearly. But I can also tell you that if you buy bonds, you can expect your money to double every 10 years. Do you understand the difference between the two statements? It only refers to the same thing, but it is presented and framed differently. To get you to understand the framing bias in a different way, let's take some examples. Example 1. Say that an IPO is about to release and the promoter is pitching the stock to investors to buy it for $200. The promoter can pitch the issue in the following two ways. 1. There is a 70% chance of success and the shares are expected to go up by 45% on the first trading day. 2. There is only a 30% chance of failure, but if the IPO succeeds, the stock price may increase by almost 45%. Both pictures convey the exact same thing, but the first statement is framed optimistically and the second one is framed pessimistically. The first pitch will result in a successful promotion, whereas the second pitch will fail. It will not persuade the investors. Example 2. Earlier, employees were given two choices. First, to invest in their 401k. Second, not to invest in their 401k. This led to a small 37% of employees investing in their 401k, which is actually a good thing and can help them when they retire. But then, what started happening? Employees were told that they would invest in their 401k account unless they choose not to. Do you know what happened after this? Participation jumped to 86%. What made the difference? Just framing the same thing differently made all the difference. This is framing bias for you. We believe that by now you know what framing bias is, and you might have this question pop up in your mind: is there a way to overcome this issue of framing bias? Don't worry, we've got you covered. By the way, if you fall for the framing bias, it can cause financial losses. You can miss good investment opportunities or invest in the wrong places if you don't think rationally. But here is how you can avoid falling for the framing bias. Number 1. Be analytical in decision making. Don't rely solely on what's presented before you. Do your research and analyze facts and data before you decide anything. Number 2. Have a heuristic approach. Never stay mum when others pitch you something. Ask as many questions as possible and take your decision only after you understand everything. Number 3. Don't take shortcuts. It is very easy to fall for the high and easy return scheme. But don't take this shortcut. Put in the time and effort to research and you will thank yourself later. Number 4. Have a long-term perspective. You may make money in a short term, but you can make wealth only over a long term. Think about that properly. This was all about the concept of framing bias, and we hope you liked the video and learned a thing or two. If you did, Show it to us by subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and give this video a like.